The Defence Minister Peter Dutton will push for greater access to US defence technology and greater cooperation when officials meet in Washington next week. Mr Dutton says the allies need to pool knowledge and resources more effectively to help Australia develop new long-range strike weapons and offensive cyber capability, among other improved capacities. Let's bring in Greg Sheridan now. He's foreign editor at The Australian. Greg, what do you make of this story? Is it a significant shift from the Australian defence posture?
It is, Kieran, so long as the government really follows through. There's a lot of stuff in defence which gets announced but which never really happens. So our Defence Force is addicted to a completely antique, unsuitable Defence Force structure. Our new frigates are going to cost $3 billion each. We'll never risk them in battle. And in any event, we don't get them until the mid-2030s. So our frigates and subs, we don't get the full complement of them until 2050 or something. There's nothing in the cupboard which can meet the strategic challenge of China in the next 10 years and 15 years. So the only things the government can do are missiles and drones, which is what I've been arguing for a long time. We need to think of ourselves as a small power compared to China, which is a big power, and we need to develop hundreds, thousands of small weapons that we can lose in a battle that don't cost too much. So Peter Dutton's speech this week is enormously significant because he says we're going to go down the path of drones, unmanned aerial vehicles, unmanned underwater vehicles, and missiles. And the point of all these things is that you can inflict a lot of damage on an enemy at a moderate cost to yourself. But it only works if you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of them. So it's up to the government whether it's really going to deliver on this new vision or not.
Yeah, it's in contrast, isn't it, with the subs and the frigates, long-term, expensive acquisitions. We're talking more easily acquired and I guess provides a similar strategic heft, does it not?
Well, you need both. You need your subs and your big platforms, and a lot of the unmanned vehicles work in tandem with manned vehicles. So the Loyal Wingman, which we're developing as an unmanned aeroplane, that can augment. They're much cheaper to buy than new manned piloted aircraft, but they work best in tandem with a flown aircraft. But what China has done is, with America, is to see itself as the weaker power and to develop thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of missiles and drones. You know, there was a recent small war between Azerbaijan and Armenia. Armenia had all the traditional tanks and so on. Azerbaijan had little drones that you almost buy off the Bunnings warehouse stocks, and they destroyed all of Armenia's tanks and formed weapons with their drones. Now it's a disgrace that Australia in 2021 does not own one single armed drone, not one, whereas America has had drones in its armaments for more than 20 years. The single drone that we are at this stage buying, the certified Predator, is very expensive, very heavy. You almost can't afford to use it. What we need is swarms and swarms and swarms of things which we can send out against enemy ships. We need thousands of smart sea mines so that you can infest any body of water that you want to deny to the enemy. Now, all of this, the Americans do all this technology. They will transfer it to us if we're serious about it. We've got to buy it. We've got to try to build some of it in Australia. The government has had now for 18 months an initiative to build missiles in Australia, and Defence, as usual, has done nothing more than conduct its consultations. So what's up to Dutton now? That was a great speech from Dutton, but now he's got to deliver it.
Greg Sheridan, thanks as always.